Welcome to the 2024 IPF World Classic and Equipped Bench Press Championships. Presented by Eleiko and SBD, we are live from Austin, Texas. My name's Joe Whiteley. It's been my pleasure and privilege to be here for this entire competition with the one and only Gary Williams.
And I've got to tell you, tonight is going to be one heck of a session. We've got the 84 kilo women, we've got the 105 kilo men. These are two of the toughest classes there is. I mean, and you look, Maria Steen nominates at 200 kilos for her opener. That's a monster opener. Are we going to nudge the world record tonight? She said she played a bit of cat and mouse on that one when we asked her.
But we are already underway, and this is Mansi Tripathi, India, for 55 kilos. Everyone in this flight is open 84 kilo class. Oh, that went all over the place on that one. That's the shirt just completely took control there. You'll see on the replay, and we've talked a lot about the shirt trying to find the path of least resistance as you try and build up kinetic energy, and that's a really good example there. Yeah, the shirt just threw that line straight off.
Teacher, you gotta love that. 28 years old, been competing 4
Now
years.
here is Miriam Webber, Great Britain, for 110 kilos.
We saw her at the back before, getting ready.
A little bit nervous.
Yeah,
This
she
is her
looked a bit
first
nervous.
international.
Well, an international is a nervous event. It's a big event. You've got IPF referees. You've got cameras everywhere. Just needs to get this first one on the board. That looks good.
Yeah, it looks like
It
she
is.
has.
Good. We go to 157.5
And the relief kind of
for Sarah
comes
Rowe.
over you now, and you can start to enjoy the lifting.
Yeah, that'll really settle the nerves. She'll feel really good now.
Bar is loaded for Sarah. She's
did a
43
great job
years
there.
old, has been competing 11 years.
Here's Sarah Rodock, USA, looking for 157.5 to open her account. Haven't seen her at World Bench before.
No, I didn't think she'd done a world bench. She's done full
Yeah, we saw her in
power.
Viborg, I think.
All right, it's a tough opener.
It is. Now, she did 162.5 in Viborg at the Full Power World Championships in 22.
Bar is loaded for Julie Albrecht Hansen from Denmark. She's 33 years old and works as an accountant.
Yeah, I think you'll see her come out for a second lift. Will be much cleaner than that one.
Julie Albrecht Hansen, Denmark, looking for 162.5. Now, this is a small flight, Gary. This is going to run very quickly.
It is. We've got 7 lifters, so we've only really just got the amount where we don't have to add time. Minimum of 6 lifters. We don't have to add time, so we've got 7, but it's going to be fast. Coaches are going to have to really manage that a lot. Oh, that is a hard touch. He's really having to pull down.
And this is what we talk about. The bar won't go all the way to the chest on its own. You can't rely on gravity. You have to pull it in.
She really had to work that down, didn't she?
But she kept control of it really well. She was patient. She didn't succumb to the temptation to rotate and touch lower or skip a bit higher on the chest.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest keys in equipped bench is to be patient with
As
it.
a coach, she's been competing for 10 years.
Here's Jadira Bakambatova. Lifted in the Classic. She didn't
She
seem
did.
on form in the Classic though, Gary.
Yeah, she was a bit off what we would have expected.
Finished in 4th place.
It's a pretty long travel from Kazakhstan as well, and we don't know what day she got in. That was a tough one. Did that bar dip there?
I'm not sure.
That
The
is a
referees
lift
say
2 to 1,
it did.
which raised the bar to 190 kilos. Bar is loaded for Ankie Timmers of Luxembourg. She earns her living as a nurse.
There it was.
Been
Tiny.
competing 14 years.
But this is the World
30 years
Championships.
old.
You have to have technical perfection to have your lift passed.
Ankie Timmers, Luxembourg, formerly of the Netherlands.
Yeah, I was going to say that's certainly a name we all recognise, but we certainly don't recognise her as competing for Luxembourg.
No, she's usually in orange. She's kept the orange shoes.
Yeah, she kept the orange shoes there.
She
Plenty
was
of
the
experience.
bronze medalist in the classic competition.
Yeah, Ankie often does both, but I think she's generally more of an equipped lifter.
She snaps that right up. The lift is good with 3 white lights.
3 white lights, and Ankie is on the board.
Yeah, she absolutely smashed that. You see the replay, it was so quick.
Bar is loaded.
Handles the bar really well. So clean.
Of Canada. She is a 36-year-old massage therapist, been competing 22 years.
Here's Rhea Stinn, Canada. If you've ever watched Equip Benching, you know who this lady is.
You would certainly want to know who she is, and her husband in the corner there, coaching her and handling her.
Pound for pound, the biggest female bencher in the IPF. She's not far off having the biggest bench. Wow, 200 kilos, removing like nothing at all.
The current world record's 228. Does she own that?
That's Rhea's record, yeah.
Bar is loaded. Monsi missed this on her opener.
So after the first round, we have Rhea Stinn leading with 200 kilos, Ankie Timmers not far behind with 190, and Julie Hansen on 162.5. Mansi Tripathi making short work of the 55 she missed on her opener.
Please raise the bar to 120 kilos. Our next lifter is Miriam Weber of Great Britain.
Yeah, she handled that a lot better that time. Didn't let the shirt take control.
This is a 10-kilo jump.
And here's Miriam Weber. She had a great debut with her opening lift.
Yeah, that was really good to see her get that opening lift. We saw how nervous she was out the back.
120 kilos on the bar.
She's handling the nerves of her first competition really, really well. And look, the smile, she's starting to enjoy it now.
Well, that's what we've talked about, isn't it? The relief of getting your opener in, you can start to have a bit of fun.
Bar is loaded. Sarah opened up with a smooth 157.5. She moves up 5 kilos.
Here's Sarah Rodock, USA for 162.5. Gone up 5 kilos from her opener. This is the 2024 IPF World Classic and Equipped Bench Press Championships. We are live from Austin, Texas. My name is Joe Whiteley, and it's been my pleasure to be here all through this competition with the one and only Gary Williams. And we join the action during the Open 84 kilo class. We are partway through the second round of bench. And we are about to see Jadira Bakambatova, Kazakhstan, attempt the 185 kilo press. She missed on her opener.
Yeah, I can't quite recall what the issue was on the first one. I just don't think she was able to get the press out.
Yeah, it didn't quite go. She looked strong off the chest, but then it kind of just faded out a little bit.
Yeah, she got a lot more speed off the chest on that one.
The lift is good 2-1.
She did get a yellow card for that. We have the three lights you see there. We have three referees arrayed around the platform. They each give a vote whether they think it's a good lift or a bad lift, and then they will give a colour-coded card to say what the infraction was. Now, the yellow card covers a lot of things.
Yeah,
so
the yellow card's a bit of a mixed bag of failures, from butt lift to foot movement.
Here's Anki Timmers, Luxembourg.
She had a fantastic opening lift.
She did. She started off at 190. This is 197.5, just a little bit short of 440 pounds.
She's in real form because I think this is a personal best for Anki.
You could be right, actually. Just struggling to keep the bar still on her chest.
Look at the press, though.
But the press was amazing. And she's now in touch with Rhea Stinn.
She's really kept up there. She's really taking it to her in this competition. This is the best form I've seen Anki in on bench.
Bar is loaded.
I think you're right. We've seen 200 from her. That was at the Europeans not so long ago, this year. So it looks like she's really got that bench working. Here's Rhea Stinn, Canada. Pound for pound, the best bencher the IPF has.
Yeah, if you're starting out an equipped bench and you want to watch some videos to help your technique, this is one person you should be watching.
Her own world record is 228 kilos.
That's ridiculous.
Now, it did go up in stages, but I don't think it dips. The referees don't think so either.
You can have a look at the replay and you can see how hard she is working to stop the shirt from folding her over.
Get ready for round 3.
Stops a little bit, stops again, and goes to full lockout. It has to go to lockout without dipping. So Rhea Stinn is leading with 207.5, Anki Timmers with 197.5, Bakambatova 185.
IPF World Classic and Equipped Bench Press Championships on CBS Sports Network are powered by Visit Malta, by ESN, and by Maniac Fitness.
Here's Mansi Tripathi, unfortunately missing her third attempt.
Yeah, she hasn't had a great day out there. Her first one, she just couldn't get control of the shirt. She got it under, she got the hang of it on the second one, but this one just threw her around a little bit as well. That shirt wants to take you for a ride.
It does.
You cannot, I mean, one of the things I say to my athletes is don't let the shirt bully you.
Here's Miriam Webber from the UK. She was sent out to the platform by the current full power equipped world champion, Kate Sweatman, who's lifting tomorrow.
It was Kaninskaya.
It was in November. Miriam's first ever World Bench Championships. She has 125 kilos on the bar.
She's doing great.
And starting to enjoy it after that first lift was on the board.
She'll enjoy that.
And the lift was good for Miriam Webber. She just went 3
We
for 3
really
in the World
look forward to these benchmark moments. Putting 2 red plates on your bench is one of those moments.
That bar is loaded. Our lifter, Sarah Rodock of the United
That was
States,
fantastic.
currently sits in
3
fifth
from 3
place.
in a first competition. Sorry, first international competition.
International, yes. Sarah Rodock, USA. She missed 162.5 last time.
You have 2 lifts
Just
to
couldn't get it
change your
working.
opening attempts.
She's going to retake that same weight. Sitting in 5th place right now.
Oh, did she
That
lock
was a
that out?
tough one. The referees say no, couldn't quite get that to the top.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a lockout issue there.
Just couldn't, it
some
was
butt
so
lift.
close to the top.
Julie currently sits in 4th place. Going to repeat the 170 she missed on her 2nd attempt.
Julie Hansen, 170. Retaking the 170 she
Lifters in
missed
the
last
next
time.
group, this is the final
Sitting in 4th place
chance
right
to
now.
change
This
your
lift
opening
won't
attempt.
change that
One lifter
ranking.
left.
But she'd like to get it on the board.
I think she has too.
That is a strong looking attempt for Julie.
She has
It is
3
a good
whites.
lift.
Now we see some attempt changes coming through.
Our next weight is 207.5.
So, on your 3rd round of bench, you can change the attempt that you've put in twice. And I've seen that Jadira Bakambatova has made a change. She's no longer defending her bronze medal.
And I think that's a smart move. She's got nothing to lose now. She's got a chance. Well, she's a little bit heavier than Timmers, so this isn't going to really help her.
No, but I think what she's saying is she's got the higher lot number, so she goes 2nd on the same weight.
Yeah, so she
If
can
Timmers
change.
misses,
Yep.
she can take the 207. But this is Anki Timmers, Luxembourg. This is a big number for Anki. 200 is her current best on the international stage. 207.5 on the bar.
I got to say, I'd put money on her getting this. She has looked today in the best form I've seen her.
I would agree. £460 in the hand.
I
Well,
think it's there.
it was a bit scrappy, but that's a big personal best for Anki Timmers. And she goes into the lead. I didn't spot that. She's gone ahead of Rhea Stinn.
210 kilos.
We thought Rhea Stinn would just be streaking out ahead.
Putting the pressure on her.
But Anki Timmers leads the competition. And the next lifter out is Jadira Bakambatova for 210. She used her 2 changes, so there's some strategic work from the coaches there.
It's a big jump for her though. 185 to 210 is quite a large jump in weight. She's really going to feel that.
And she doesn't seem to be on her absolute best form at this competition. Now there was a lot of lateral movement through the body.
It looked like a double movement of the bar as well. Yeah, unfortunately.
All 3 referees turned down that attempt. I think there was up and down movement of the bar. The bar cannot dip. And you can see her hips rise there. The butt, the shoulders and the head must stay in contact with the bench throughout the lift.
Bar is loaded. This is for the gold medal.
So Rhea Stinn does not have an opportunity to nudge her own world record today.
No, and she's done the right thing. She's dropped to 210 now. She's playing the smart and the safe card.
210 kilos for the
World
gold
records
medal.
come and go. World titles are forever.
Yep.
So she is 200 grams heavier than Anki Timmers, so she has to lift more weight to get past. This is a 210. We know she's done 228. I think she's done 230 in a home competition. That looks good to me.
That is why she is the world champion, isn't it?
That was an assured performance from Rhea Stinn. If you looked up equipped bench press in the dictionary, they'll just have a picture of Rhea Stinn. That's absolutely textbook.
When we get set,
So Rhea Stinn is your new 2024 world champion with 210 kilos. Anki Timmers on 205. Berkambatova takes the bronze.
we are ready. Bar is loaded.
We move straight into the second flight, which is a much bigger flight. We have the men's 105 kilo class. And these guys are going to move some big weights.
Yeah, this is going to be an impressive class. It's usually the first round, when we get into these heavier weight classes, the men, usually the first round is really hectic. All the guys trying to push each other and play a few mind games out the back as well. There'll be a bit of that going on. And then they'll calm down a little bit. We'll get into the action.
We start off with Brian Chong, Canada. He's looking for 262.5 kilos. Just a bit short of 580 pounds. Ah, that's difficult.
He's got it back in line pretty well, though. Whether he can get the press.
Well,
Great
I'm
control.
impressed. He got that to the top.
I don't know if he locked out the right arm.
Yeah, the right-hand referee agrees with you, Gary. So we have a three-man jury that can overturn 2-1 decisions. 2 white lights is good enough for a good lift. 2 red lights gets you a no lift. So the jury have a live view. They also have replays from different angles. But they are not taking an interest in that. That is a good lift for Chong. Now here's Andy Champ. He lifted in the Raw competition earlier in the week.
Sure did.
That was just his warm-up. This is 200. Our jury has overruled Chong's lift.
Yeah, I had a feeling they might.
Yeah, the lockout on the right arm just wasn't great. But this is Andy Champ from Great Britain for 275 kilos. We are well above 600 pounds now. And he's put the new shirt on, Gary.
He
See how
has.
tight that was.
But he got a great opening lift. He will be really happy with that.
Yeah, I think so. A little bit of a celebration as he leaves the platform.
He was a bit nervous leading up with the new shirt and everything. He was a bit worried about it.
Well, the biggest lift he'd done in competition, international competition before, was 265. So that was a phenomenal lift for Andy Champ. Jonathan Cognac now, Canada. Another lifter who lifted in the raw part of the competition. So if you're not familiar with equipped benching, these lifters are wearing bench shirts. It's a very tight canvas shirt that tries to stop you taking the bar to your chest. Quite a lot of the time you need a huge weight to overcome the resistance of your shirt and get it to the chest. You can see he's having difficulty pulling in.
Yeah, there's a lot of science going into the shirts these days. If you look back 20 or 30 years, they were just tight canvas sacks, really.
The bar is loaded for Michael Gibson of Great Britain. He is a 37-year-old farmer, been competing 7 years.
The next lifter to the platform is Mike Gibson from Great Britain, but more specifically from Northern Ireland.
Yeah, he competed in Sun City last year. I think, if I remember rightly, in Sun City, he had one of his, I think, highest finishes, maybe.
Let's take a look. He finished in 5th place.
Yeah, I think that's one of his best performances at World Bench.
Well, this is already more than we've seen him do at World Bench before. He finished it with 270 in Sun City last year. This is 280 kilos. I think he had butt lift, Gary.
He may have done. He's got one red card.
Now, if we can get a side replay of this lift, he has to keep his butt planted all the way through, and the yellow card infraction does cover butt lift.
Yeah, now he got caught for this in Sun City, and I think he got caught for this recently in the UK as well.
I think so. The jury has overruled. That is no lift for Mike Gibson. He needs to keep his butt planted on that bench. And sometimes we find lifters that they haven't got competition standard equipment at home and their bench is quite high. We do see this a lot. It's really a big benefit if you can train on competition standard equipment. Here's Christian Floras, Germany, for 285.
He has a really tight sort of system in his descent. It's really it works really well. He's getting those elbows right in.
You can see how far down he's got his shirt pulled and the compression that gives him across the chest. And you're building up that potential energy by overcoming the resistance of the shirt, and that gives you a big pop off the chest. Oliver Dahlqvist, Sweden, 292.5.
Yeah, he was several years ago. He was a junior world champion in the full power in the 93 kilo class, though, not the 105s. He moved up to the 105s a few years ago. I think he moved up to the 105s when he competed at World Bench in Lithuania.
I think you're right, actually. He just missed the podium last year with 280.
He is a very, very strong bencher. Oh, that looks probably the best form I've seen him in.
But this is a stacked class. We've got some really big names.
Yeah, he is a really strong lister. It's taken him a while to get into the 105s and get into the opens. He had a lot of problems finding the shirts that really fitted him properly. But this is the best form I've seen him in for a while.
16 years.
Alain Grenier, France, for 300 kilos. We are already into the realms of what would constitute a really good deadlift.
This is an excellent deadlift. You won't find many people in your gyms deadlifting 300 kilos, and these guys are benching it.
So we're up to about 660 pounds now.
And that lift is good with 3 white lights.
Yeah, if we were talking about people doing deadlifts, I mean, I would often say in these competitions, go to your gym, load up a 300 kilo deadlift and see if you can move it. I wouldn't recommend that with a bench.
Came off his chest a little bit awkward. But he got it to the top nonetheless. No points for style in powerlifting. Here's Austin Brown, USA. 307.5 kilograms on the bar.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't recommend trying this at your local gym. Oh, that was a hard touch.
And that's hard to recover. He's got it to the top.
I think the bar may have moved down. Center ref says yes. We will see in the replay and see if the jury responds.
That was the shirt just kicking the bar around.
And right at the top here, I felt like a bar dipped. Oh, maybe not.
I wouldn't like to be making that call, Gary.
Oh, the jury has
overruled. That is no lift for Austin Brown.
For Brown.
Now, we say this all the time, Gary. It's not unusual to miss your opening lift in equipped bench. It's such a technical discipline.
Look, we saw a session earlier that it was just absolutely brutal with missed lifts. And it's pretty normal in equipped powerlifting. It's quite normal to see someone miss the first 2 lifts and then smoke their third.
Here's Igor Trifonov, Kazakhstan.
Oh, he just couldn't hold it.
Yeah. Missing his attempt there of 310.
Just started to lean to one side a little bit. And he's pretty even on the bench. But the left arm went up too fast, and when you've got that much weight, it just starts to swing.
30 years old, been competing over half of his life.
Now here's Ralph Marley, Norway. He's been out there coaching all week. We didn't see him in Sun City last year. I'm not sure whether he went at all, whether he went as a coach, but he certainly didn't compete. Last saw him at this competition in Kazakhstan in 2022. Oh, that came off the chest so well.
Did it come off too fast and he wasn't ready for it? Yeah, he dipped in the middle.
There was some up and down.
You can see you'll see on the replay, it came off so quickly. He didn't chase quick enough.
It is loaded and away.
And he was still catching up with the bar when it stopped.
And it's startling to see 315 kilos move off the chest so quickly.
Yeah, and it's so hard to do anything about that. If you're not quick enough with the bar, that is exactly what's going to happen.
Next out, it's Takahiro Ono, Japan, looking for 322 kilos.
This is just ridiculous amounts of weight.
It's good to see him back. We last saw him as a junior in 2017.
The key is you need to get your lifts on the board. It's not in equipped lifting. It's not always how much you can lift. It's about how many you can get on. We've seen a couple that this week already.
You're absolutely right. There's been a couple of sessions where the favourites have not managed to get a lift on. Couldn't lock his right arm.
That is a no lift. Load the bar to 325 kilos.
So that was no lift for Ono. So if you watch the right arm here, he has to lock it out fully at the top of the lift.
Bar is
And
Yeah,
loaded.
it just starts dipping down then.
Yeah, it just started to collapse on the right hand side. It's always such a shame when the lift has done so much of the work and then they fail right at the top. Now then, we know this man very well. It's Konstantin Musienko, Ukraine.
I think this would have to be one of your favourite bench presses, isn't it?
Well, he's benched 351 kilos.
I know, it's
in
ridiculous.
competition. 351.5, I believe, but he's usually in the 93 kilo class. He's moved up to the 105s here, and you can see he's weighed in at 95.15.
Yeah, he's
So
still
he's
very
very
low on.
light in class. But we have one of those unusual situations where his record in the 93 kilo class is more than the record in the 105 class. So I think he's popped up. Just have a crack at that.
Well, he looks on form. That is one of the best opening lifts I have ever seen from him.
We were wondering today if he was going to be on form. I think we have that question answered.
I think moving up to this weight class has helped him. His lifts are always good. They're often a little scrappy though. That was spot on.
Here is our final opening lift. This is Ilya Maslov, Kazakhstan, and he's selected the same weight as Musienko, 325, and he's much heavier. So if two lifters select the same weight, the lower lot number goes first. Lot numbers are allocated randomly at weigh-in, but if two lifters lift the same weight, the lighter body weight takes the advantage. So this will put Maslov in second place behind Musienko.
Of course, Ilya Maslov, no stranger to world competitions. I think he did he compete last year in full power as well, equipped?
That is a perfect attempt for Ilya with 3 white.
He did, you're right, he competed in
We begin
this
round
Kaninke.
2. We strip it
And he
down.
benched 317.5 at that competition, and he's just made short work of 325.
Bar is loaded for
So we
Brian
do see
Scott
this
of
because
Canada.
in 3-lift competition he will have done an equipped squat first. So Konstantin Musienko leads with 325, Maslov on the same weight, Grenier on 300. We go through into the second round now. Brian Chong missed, well, he had it overturned. It was initially
Yeah.
a good lift 2-1. So he's retaking the 262.5 he did last time.
That's a tough touch point. That looks a lot better though.
The lift is
3
good.
whites,
Brian
can't
Three white
overturn that one.
lights. Yeah, absolutely.
That was very important. We move to 280 for Andy Champ. Bar is loaded. Great Britain, you're up. It's time to clap those hands. Andy opened at 275 and has jumped 5 kilos.
The next lifter out is Andy Champ. Now he's already beyond anything we've seen from him before.
Yeah, he wasn't on his best form earlier in the week, but he's looking really good today. I mean, he was nervous about a new shirt.
Yeah.
Rip the Band-Aid off, get out there, Chuckles, and get it on.
$280 kilos on the bar. And I think he's got it.
He has. He's got that. 3 whites. He is going to be so happy with that.
We stay at 280.
Not really showing much emotion because he knows he's got work to do. He knows he's got another lift.
For Michael Gibson, also of Great Britain.
So next out, it's Mike Gibson. He missed his first on butt lift.
He's got to keep that butt down.
Yeah, it was a mile off the bench too. So he's going to retake 280.
It's a hard one to fix. I mean, if it's just minuscule, it's not too bad, but it was quite a big lift.
And you can see the shirt trying to pull his head forward. And I think his butt's up again.
Yeah.
And he's back in the rack anyway.
Not happening. We'll see him one more time.
Just got to put it together out there.
He's going to have to fix his positioning. Sometimes you can bring your feet further back, turn the feet out, and that can lock the hips down. He's just going to have to find a position that means he can't lift his butt.
The 282.5 will move him from 7th to 6th place.
Next lifter out is Jonathan Cognac, Canada. 282.5 on the bar. He's sitting in 7th place right now, but we have 5 lifters with nothing on the board.
Now, let's see how they've set the shirt this time. On the last one, he had that shirt pulled quite a long way down.
So what sort of adjustments would you make, Gary?
Well, I mean, it's a tough one. His first one was a pretty easy opening lift. I don't think you'd need to pull the shirt down too much for an extra 10. Well, it's not even an extra 10, is it?
No, it's only 5 kilos more. So if your shirt's working, keep it where it is if you're not taking a big jump.
Yeah, because you've got to be really careful. 5 kilos isn't a huge amount.
So we see 2 to 1, no lift. We have a blue card failures. That's either for downward movement of the bar or soft lockout. Downward movement, there it was. It is such a tiny infraction, but this is the World Championships. It has to be perfect.
He moves from 285 to 297.
Christian Floras, Germany.
I'm not even sure how they got him in that shirt.
That's tight, isn't it? And it's a long way, the collar's a long way down already. 297.5 on the bar.
If successful, he will move from 5th to 4th place.
This will move him ahead of Oliver Dahlqvist for the moment, but that touch is a tough one.
It's such a tough touch. I thought he'd get a lot more speed out of the shirt, but
it's not quite
I'm
going.
not 100% convinced he locked that.
Somebody
No.
clap their hands for Christian.
I thought he'd get a lot more speed out of the shirt, and that it was
Usually
really
when
slow.
the touch is so difficult and the shirt's so tight, you get a huge lift off the chest. But he just didn't seem to get any speed, and he's used a lot of energy fighting that bar.
Sure has.
Now sometimes, counterintuitively, more weight on the bar gets you an easier touch and gets you an easier press.
Yeah, I think sometimes too when you're pulling so hard on that bar and they say press, you're not really pushing as quickly and as hard as you should be, so you're almost holding the shirt back from doing its job.
Now here's Igor Trifonov, silver medalist in 22. That was amazingly great.
What did he do wrong on the first one, and why couldn't he do that? That was incredible.
Our next weight, 312.
You know, months and months and months of training come down to 60 seconds on the platform to nail your best attempts.
Bar is loaded
That was incredible.
and ready for Austin Brown of the United States. Needs this to get on the board.
Now here's Austin Brown. He has added more weight. He missed 307.5. He's added 5 kilos to 312.5. And I think he was having difficulty getting the bar to the chest.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really difficult thing to set that opener. It's really difficult with these weights. That looks okay.
Yeah, that looks good.
It is. And he's pretty happy with that.
Relieved to be on the board, and he's gone straight into 3rd place.
Oliver Dahlqvist. This will take Oliver from 6th place to 4th.
Here's Oliver Dahlqvist, Sweden, looking for 312.5. Taking a 20-kilo jump, Gary.
Yeah, and I've seen him lift above this. I don't know if he's had a successful lift above 300 kilos though. When he loaded up the approximation or almost the world record in Denmark a while back because he'd failed everything. He'd bombed his squat, so
He's loaded up for the bench gold.
Oh, it's there. He's locked.
He's locked it.
Referees say 2-1.
So we'll keep the eye on the jury once we see the replay from the front.
15 kilos for Rolf Malop of Norway. Bar is loaded. Rolf missed this on his own.
Yeah, the
And
jury
they've
has overruled it.
overruled.
It was
What a
pretty
shame.
marginal, but it was there.
But you were right. The most Dahlqvist done in competition up to now was 300.
Well, he's looking good.
But right now we have Rolf
So
Malop
here we
at
go. It's
315.
Ralph Marley,
This will move him into
Norway.
3rd place, ladies and
going to
gentlemen.
repeat 315. He pressed it successfully last time, but there was just a tiny little wobble, downward movement of the bar. I think he's got it this time,
Yeah, it
though.
looks good. It is.
Oh, he has a yellow card from the
Yeah.
side referee, so
Let's have a
let's
look.
get a side replay.
Bar is loaded for Alain Grenier of France.
Yeah, the
Butt lift.
butt has come off there, and the jury
Jury's
have overruled.
overruled.
3rd place.
Ralph is in real trouble now.
That is a no net for Rolf Malop, 315, overruled by the jury.
It is such a difficult thing to do. It's such a difficult thing to correct if you've been training on a different height bench. But here's Alain Grenier, France, for 317.5.
Oh, that looks good.
Alan Powers.
It is three
Three
whites.
white lights.
Perfect. Please load the
Now
bar
he's
to
right up against the most we've ever
322.5
seen him do.
kilos.
He's done 320 in competition
Our next
before,
lifter, Takahiro Ono of
and that
Japan.
took Grenier right up to 3rd place.
Takahiro missed this on his opener. If successful, he will move into 3rd place.
Takahiro Ono, I think it was downward movement. I think it was
Yeah,
a
it
bubble.
just couldn't quite get to the lockout properly.
Ah, you're right. 322.5 kilos on the bar.
I mean, these guys are making it look easy, but 322.5 kilos, you can be an inch from the top and you're just not going to move it. You have to have the speed, the momentum, the aggression to drive it all the way to the top. It's a lot of weight to be handling.
Keeps his chest up really well.
Now let's see if he kept his butt down.
No,
there
he
was a lot of
didn't.
hip movement there. There was.
So let's see that from the side.
Please load the bar to
The coach is taking the long walk
I
to
don't
the.
think he's going to get a lot
jury.
of joy. It's already off the bench there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mile off there.
Bar is loaded. Konstantin is our current leader.
Now here's Kostiantin Musienko. He's a little bit of a bench specialist, but usually lifts in full power competitions.
He looked great on his open. I've never seen his opening lift look that clean.
Silver medalist at the World Equipped Full Power in Druskininkai, Lithuania last year. I'm just having a look at his record. I think this is the very first time he's lifted in the 105s. And I think he's going to be chasing that record.
He's awfully close to it.
337.5 on the bar. Wow.
Even his second is probably the best I've ever seen. That's better than his openers I've ever seen in the past. He is loving being in the 105s. I think being able to eat into this weight class is really paying off for him.
And he's barely into the class. He's weighed in at 95.15. You can weigh in as much as 105.00. So imagine Musienko with 10 kilos body weight on him.
And he probably hasn't had to change shirts either. He's only a little bit heavier than he was. This one's probably just fitting just a smidge tighter than it was when he was in the 93s. So he hasn't had to deal with that.
Now, interesting, he has Maslov has taken his second higher than Musienko. This is 340 kilos. I'm not sure we've ever seen him.
Jump. 330 is probably the best he's done in competition, maybe 335.
We've not seen him on the international stage do more than 317.5. And we are way beyond that now, but that's a tough lockout.
He's not going to get there. That was so close, though.
We begin round 3 at 277.5 for Brian Chung of
That was a
Canada.
huge lift, though,
You
wasn't
could
it?
see his pecs fire then,
For the day.
but he couldn't quite get his arms locked. So, Konstantin Musienko is in the lead with 337.5. Ilya Maslov in second with 325. Grenier 317.5. Into the final round of bench. This is where we crown our world champions. We are going to kick off with Brian Chung, Canada, 277.5 on the bar.
Yeah, didn't have the best of luck on his opener. Nailed it on the second, though.
3 lifters still to get a lift in.
Just has an awkward touch. He looks like he's really struggling to find his balance there.
I think he rolled his wrist a little bit as he got to the bottom. He was struggling to get the touch.
Yeah, he didn't look comfortable right from the start.
So if we see that back from the front,
282.5 for Andy Champ of Great Britain.
I think he just got his elbows out of position.
Bar is loaded.
And if you don't, with such a huge weight in your hands, if you don't get it absolutely perfect, then it's game over. Now look at this, Andy Champ is having a great day on the platform. 282.5 kilos on the bar.
Yeah, this will be a big personal best for him as well.
623 pounds. Great control.
Oh,
just
got
came up
away
in the
from
wrong
him.
way.
And a great catch by the SPD spotters and loaders.
That's a shame, but you know what? Andy put in a great performance there.
Certainly
Big
did.
PB on the platform.
Our next
Just
weight
got
is
his line
282
slightly wrong.
for Michael
Pushed back a
Dixon,
little bit too far.
Great Britain. Currently sits in
So that
8th.
puts Andy in
Will
8th
sit in
place
8th
with
place
3
if
lifters still to
successful.
get a lift in. Here's one of those lifters, Mike
2
Gibson.
attempts.
Yeah, they've added a couple of kilos. I think it's a smart move. Try and get a little bit more speed out of the shirt. Easier touch, so he's not forced to really lift his hips as much.
But I think he needs to find a position where he can maybe turn his feet out, maybe get his feet a bit further back to lock the hips into position. Here we go, 282.5 kilos. And I think his foot position's wider this time. He's got it to the top.
Yeah, I think he's going to get done again. But we've got 2 whites.
2 to 1, but he did get a blue. I think that might have been for a lockout, if we could see it from the front. And that wide foot spacing really helped him lock his hips down.
Yeah, I try and get athletes to anterior,
Oh, he's
an
been
anterior
overruled.
rotation. Yeah, it's on a yellow as well for butt lift. But it was a million times better. He's
Yeah.
very close.
I think
Bit
if
of
he
an
works
anterior
on
rotation
that position.
Yep. It is. It's just a case of working on that and forcing it down.
Jockey for position, ladies and
But
gentlemen.
his strength is fantastic.
Strategy going on.
Yeah, he handled the weight brilliantly.
Jonathan
So
Cognac
Jonathan
makes
Cognac has now
282.
dropped to 282.5.
Bar is loaded.
because he was concerned about being challenged by Mike Gibson. You can change your third attempt on bench twice, as long as you haven't been called to the bar. Jonathan Cognac, Canada.
Let's see if he can get this one up there and lock it out.
282.5 kilograms, 623 pounds.
This will take Jonathan from 9th to 8th place.
Can he get to lock? He has. It's there at the top.
He's definitely locked it out. The refs are keeping us in suspense.
Yeah, they've got one blue card. It can't be for lockout, surely.
Now I can see why the referee thought that it dipped. I don't think it actually did. There was a bit of lateral shift.
Our lifter, Christian Fluetis.
But that was a good lift.
He will try to move from 7th to 6th place.
Here's Christian Flueras. Second attempt at 297.5.
I still don't know how they got him into that shirt.
Do you know, it doesn't look as... It looks like the collar's been released a tiny bit. It doesn't look like it's pulled down quite as far. Or maybe.
Trying for an easier
Could be
touch.
wrong there. He's got a huge amount of compression.
Oh, he's got it there this time.
He's locked it out.
He locks it out. And
3 whites.
And it's a good lift.
Moves up a spot.
That was a tough lift,
Weight 375
but he got it on the board.
for Austin Brown of the United States. This will be for the bronze medal. Bar is loaded for Austin Brown. If you are a fan of Austin
Here's
Brown
Austin
of the
Brown.
United States,
Missed his
you need
opener
to
at
clap right now.
307.5.
Give it
Went up to
Austin Brown.
312.5 anyway. This is 317.5 to try and get his foot on the podium.
Yeah, well, in a quick bench, if you can get a toe on the podium, you've got giving yourself a very good chance of getting up there. Oh, look at the compression. That's tough. And I think he's done
But
this.
I think he's locked it out. As long as he's not...
Looking attempt in the
He has. He's got himself a toe on the podium.
So we have an attempt change coming in now. I think it's Ralph Marley has made a change. Oh, we've got another one. So we just need to wait to see these changes filter through the score sheet.
Yeah, so Dahlqvist has put a change to 320.
Yeah, I think Marley and Dahlqvist have both changed. So those are your standings now, with Musienko ahead of Maslov from Brown.
Yet to make an attempt. If successful, this is for the bronze medal.
Classic and Equipped Bench Press Championships on CBS Sports Network are powered by Visit Malta, by ESN, and by Maniac Fitness.
So here's Ralph Marley. He's going to attempt to get himself onto the board and onto the podium.
Yeah, look, he's a bit behind the 8 ball, but I think they've made the right choice here. Put an extra 5 kilos on.
It didn't quite go,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I think it's dipped.
Yeah. He thinks he's got it. Unfortunately, the referees don't.
Yeah, look, I think they made the right call, though. It was an all or nothing lift. Had it paid off, he would have put himself a toe
But
on the podium.
It was a moral victory.
Yep.
He pressed the weight, just dipped a tiny bit.
He will try to move it to the bronze medal.
So here's Oliver Dahlqvist, Sweden. Missed 312.5.
Yeah, he had no problems pressing the weight. That was absolutely fine. I cannot remember what it was for, but he had no issue with the press. 320, I think is a great call. It's it's a big risk, big reward.
Yeah, we've had quite a few failures in this session, so I must admit I'm not entirely sure what Dahlqvist was. But this will get him up to third place.
Oh, he just can't lock that right arm.
Arm's collapsed.
He is, I will say though, he is looking better and stronger than he has ever looked. And I think look out for him in another year.
So we have more changes filtering through now. So we just need to, yep, another change coming in. So there's just a little pause while the attempts filter through. We think, oh no, we have another one. Okay, so Alan Grenier, Takahiro Ono and Igor Trifonov have all changed their attempt. They're jockeying for position and trying to get themselves strategically into the best place. So we think it's Igor Trifonov next for 325 to move into second place ahead of Maslov. Maslov still to respond. $3.25 on the bar.
The IPF World Classic and Equipped Bench Press Championships on CBS Sports Network are powered by Visit Malta, by ESN, and by Maniac Fitness.
Unfortunately, that was no lift for Igor Trifonov. Kazakhstan. He's sitting in fifth place right now. But this is Takahiro Ono, Japan, in an attempt to get him from the bottom of the table all the way up to second place.
Well,
27.5 on the bar.
it wouldn't be the first time we've seen this,
It would
is it?
not.
Missed lift, then all the way to the gold medal or silver medal.
At the World Full Power, Gary, we saw Sonia Stephanie Kruger miss her first bench, miss her second bench, and then smoke a world record on her third.
It's just the nature of equipped lifting. 327.5. Takahiro's good for this.
Has it been butt lift? I think it might have been.
It has been, yeah. If you can keep that down, anterior pelvic rotation locks the hips down, makes it almost impossible.
Now that looked good from our angle. Did it look good from the ref's
angle? It looked a
angle?
lot better. He's got 2 whites and a yellow card.
So let's get that side replay, see if he lifted his butt again.
Our next weight is 327.5 kilos for Alan Grenier of France.
No, he didn't seem to, from my view.
I don't think he did.
So I think Ono's on the board and he's in second place.
It is up there.
This attempt will move
Shoots
Grenier
himself in a silver medal with 1 lift.
into the bronze medal position if successful. The bar is loaded for Alan Grenier of France.
Alain Grenier, France.
Time to clap your hands for Alan
He
Grenier.
was successful with 300, went up to 317.5. He's added another 10 kilos to try and take the third place position from Maslov.
$327.5. These are just ridiculous numbers. And looking at, Musienko's just sitting at the top waiting to see what everyone does. Do I get a shot at the world record without anyone threatening me, or do I have to drop it? He's in full control, isn't he?
That was just a bit too much for Grenier. So that leaves him in fifth place. We only have a couple of lifts remaining now.
Our next weight is 340 kilos. Our lifter from Kazakhstan, Ilya
just didn't want to shift it.
He has
Stuck
made
to the chest.
325.
So here we go, Ilya Maslov, Kazakhstan. He missed 340 on his second, but if he can get it this time, it will put him in
He was
first
so
place.
close on it too. I
Yeah.
mean, it wasn't too heavy for him. He just couldn't get it to the lock.
From the bronze
He knows what that 340 is going to feel like when he walks out here now.
Their hands for Ilya Maslov right now.
Now, if he gets this weight on, Musienko's going to have to change.
Well, Musienko's got 350 on, so yeah, he will have to drop to
He'll
cover
have
this.
no choice but to drop unless he's so confident.
I think it'd be a risky move though, but let's see if Maslov can get this in. He's jacked that shirt down so far. He's fighting it.
Just can't get
but
that
he
lock
hasn't
out.
locked it out. So that is a, we can see a change coming in now from
changing too,
Musienko.
though.
I reckon he's going to take 346.5.
Yep, spot on the money.
Bang
Well
on.
picked, Joe.
So Maslov takes the bronze medal, and oh no, look at that. He had nothing on the board at all, and he's got the silver medal.
That is just, that is just so typical of equipped lifting, isn't it? Is that Ono's best finish? I think he'll have to go
I think
close.
it'd have to be. So this record was set in Tokyo in 2019, belongs to Vladimir Grishev. And here's Konstantin Musienko. And the bar wasn't quite ready. He was fired up. He tried to charge the platform.
I can imagine he's fired up. 346.5. He is lifting in a heavier weight class. He has lifted heavier than this before in the 93s at 351.5.
This is 761 pounds.
He is looking in the best form on bench
I
that
agree.
I've ever seen.
Absolutely. The silence
You could
just
hear
ran
a
around the
pin
hall.
drop in here.
World record on the bar. He's already the world champion. He's already got the world record in the 93s. Looking to take the 105 world record home with him too.
Oh, he
I think he's got
absolutely
it.
smashed that. That looked better than his second lift. That was absolutely
Did he
outstanding.
get 9 white lights? Did he get 3 white lights for every lift?
He got 3 from 3, not a single red light. I have never seen him look this good. Stay in the 105s, Musienko.
Yeah.
You belong here.
So Konstantin Musienko, he was the only man to get all 3 lifts in. He finished on a new world record of 346.5 for the gold medal and the world title. Takahiro Ono, he was nowhere. He came through from absolutely nowhere. He took the silver medal position with 327.5. I mean, we see this all the time, don't we, Gary?
It's really common, and it does happen a lot. It's nerve-wracking for everyone watching, but it's in equipped lifting, it's a really common thing to happen.
And Ilya Maslov, he had a crack at going into the lead. Didn't quite come off. But he takes the bronze medal anyway. Austin Brown and Alan Grenier, they had quite the scrap. Finished on the same weight, 317.5. But Austin Brown was the lighter on body weight.
Yeah, look, and it was a tough field out there. Yeah, and this sort of field builds up a lot of tension and a lot of competitiveness out the back as well. And that plays a factor in people's lifts. I mean, you look at some of the guys, the Andy Champ had probably one of the greatest days he's had in a long time.
Yeah, I think so. We've never seen weights like that from him before. He had a new shirt on that he was worried about.
Yep.
And he came out and he absolutely smoked new personal bests.
Mike Gibson didn't get a lift on the board, but handled the weight better than I've ever seen him handle the weight. Oliver Dahlqvist, I've got money that says Oliver Dahlqvist is going to be a world champion.
Gary, I think we can see that phenomenal world record again.
Oh, if we can get a replay of that would
that
be
was
absolutely
superb.
outstanding. Here it is again from the front.
That has to be one of the best executed equipped bench world records that we have ever seen.
And if you've seen Musienko lift before, he is amazing, but he's never looked this clean. His lifts are scrappy. These were spot on. I would almost say textbook perfect.
Gets the touch. And he's straight to lockout.
There's no struggle. There's no scrappiness in it. I've not seen him lift this good ever.
And he's only just into class. He's lifting in the 105
He's got another 7 or 8 kilos he can throw on.
I think he's got nearly 10.
Nearly 10 kilos he can put on yet. Imagine Musienko weighing in 103.5. He would be absolutely outstanding.
Well, I would love to see him continue to grow into this class. I'm blown away. I'm blown away by the technical mastery of the lift.
And
Superb.
of course, tomorrow we've got an amazing lineup again. Tomorrow we've got the 120 pluses and the 84 pluses tomorrow. That is going to be incredible. The big boys are coming out to play.
And we have Hildeborg Hugdahl lifting tomorrow. She has the biggest bench ever seen in the IPF, 238 kilos for a female bench. And she's going to be lifting against Kate Sweatman, a new talent that we've got, current full power world champion. And Matilda Haller, she's the classic world champion as well. That's going to be a showdown. Garrett Bentley in the super heavyweights versus Shane Martin.
Yeah, look, they battled it out in Sun City. They're back again. Garrett Bentley, I've been watching his training videos. He is putting up some ridiculous numbers. If he gets an opportunity to put 400 on the bar, he's going to do it.
He absolutely will. It's a rematch as well. Shane Martin was he was the winner last year, wasn't he? Shane Martin was the winner. And Garrett Bentley took the bronze behind Chimdredsen Batar. And we have all three of them again.
It's going to be an incredible 120 plus session.
And don't forget we've got the 120s as well lifting tomorrow. Per Marius Hole, hot off the back of a great performance at the UK Arnold. Gary, is going to be absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I just can't keep up with it.
Well, I hope you'll join us for tomorrow. It will be a brilliant session.
Presenting the awards once again, your very own IPF President, Gaston Farage. We start with the 105 kilo men. Our bronze medalist with a lift of 325 kilos from Kazakhstan, Ilya Maslov. We move to the silver medal, lifting 325 kilos from Japan, Takahiro Ono. And our gold medalist, lifting a new open world record of 346.5 kilos from Ukraine, Konstantin Mushienko. I ask that you all rise. Please remove your caps for the playing of the Ukraine national anthem. Great lifting, gentlemen, and congratulations again, Costiantine, on your open world record. We move to the 84 kilo women's open. Our bronze medalist with a 185 kilo lift from Kazakhstan, Zadra Bermerkambetova. Our silver medalist with a lift of 207.5 kilos from Luxembourg, Anki Timmers. And our gold medalist lifting 210 kilos from Canada, Rhea Stinn. And I ask once again that you all rise. Please remove your caps for the playing of the Canadian National Anthem. Job well done, ladies. Well done. All right, Mr. Turkinoff, will you lead them out? Let's hear it one more time as we walk them by.